If you've yo-yo dieted for years and would like to make the next diet you do the last one, you need to watch this video. So in this video, I'm going to teach you the 3 psychological reasons why most diets fail. And these are things that your doctor and your personal trainer will never tell you, not because they don't want to, they just don't know. And if you stay to the end, I'm going to teach you a trick on how to manipulate your internal values to be able to lose more weight. Reason number 1 is accidentally creating self-sabotaging behaviors. Let me explain. So most people, and you can tell me if this resonates with you, diet because they are in a place of pain and frustration with how they look and how they feel. They're just not happy with their life. So it's things like feeling judgment from others, negative self-talk, scrutinizing your body, not feeling healthy, and feelings of low confidence and self-esteem. Now let's quickly bring a bit of science into this. Because this evokes emotions and feelings, this activates the survival part of your brain, the bit of the brain that functions to look out for you, notice threats, and try and keep you safe. And negative emotions and bad feelings are seen as a threat to this part of the brain. And so this survival part of your brain then thinks, I need this solved as quickly as possible. And so it reflects in your behaviors. So that could mean searching for quick weight loss solutions. It could be going extreme and trying to be perfect to get the weight off as quickly as possible. It might mean isolating yourself more so you can control everything and not go off track to get better results. So this might mean not going out so much, passing up social invites, and basically just not living life. So these are some examples of the extent that your mind will push you to avoid bad feelings. But the paradox is that these are the very behaviors that make you fail on your diet in the long term. Basically, you're not thinking logically, you're acting on emotion, and you end up, unfortunately, making bad decisions for your long-term diet. These decisions are all based around avoiding bad feelings in the short term. So this might mean wanting to weigh yourself constantly to reassure yourself that you're making progress, possibly every day or even more than that. Or constantly trying to find evidence that all the effort you're putting into the diet is actually worth it or not. Or doing more exercise to get rid of the guilt when you overeat to try and fix that mistake. And other things similar to these. And then these things end up messing with your mind and cause you to self-sabotage. So in the example of overeating and feeling guilty, and then over-exercising, you then feel hungrier, and then feel like you need to eat more, and then you actually put on weight. So this is why it's so important to work on self-worth and the love for yourself, either before or alongside trying to lose weight. So you don't need to lose the weight as quickly as possible to feel happy. So you don't need to keep checking your weight to reassure that you're making progress. And so it becomes so much easier when you work on this internal stuff as well. So that leads me on to reason number 2, which is the fear of failure, which is also part of your self-worth. So when you start out on a diet, there's always the possibility of failure and things going wrong. So the possibility of actually feeling worse. And because of this is why you often feel those urges to step on the scale for that constant reassurance that what you're doing is working. This is why when you step on the scale and you don't see the number you want, you often feel bad because it's feeding back into that self-worth of there's a possibility we're going to fail. And that means that we're going to feel even worse about ourselves than we did when we started. So your mind might say stuff like, I'm putting in all this work and it's not working, or I'm putting in all this effort and I'm not seeing results. So what's the point of even trying? So keep watching, I'm going to tell you a few things you need to think about to resolve this. First of all, what the scale says is outside your control, right? You step onto the scale and you have no control over that number. Plus, you could easily be making progress and not know about it if you're only relying on weight for your results, okay? You probably know this, right? So many different ways to measure progress. In fact, let me know in the comments what your favorite way to measure progress is other than just using the scale. It's normal on any weight loss journey to see ups and downs week to week. What matters more with weight would be the average over time, so the monthly. So this is a really good example where my client week to week was fluctuating, but if we look at the monthly average, it looks a lot more balanced. We get rid of that weekly noise and we see a better representation of her overall progress. The problem is, in the moment you don't know this, you can't see into the future and know what your future weight is going to be. You just have to be consistent, focused, and believe in the process. So this is why I always say, if you rely on your weight for motivation, something that is outside your control, then you are setting yourself up for disappointment. Your diet is going to be an emotional yo-yo roller coaster, and your feelings are going to be all over the place, which is going to affect your results. So what you need to do is give yourself a winning start by building motivation that not only lasts but shows up when you need it most, not just at the beginning of the diet when you're excited. So that's why I've created a free HALT cheat sheet on how to supercharge your motivation and make sure it's there when you need it most. If you would like a copy of this, I will place a link down there in the description. Just click, enter your email, and it will fly over to your inbox straight away, hopefully. If it doesn't, it's probably gone to spam. And psychological problem number 3 is plastering over the cracks instead of actually fixing the problem. Let me explain. So your physical body reflects what's going on in your mind. And what's going on in your mind depends on your environment, your behaviors, your skills and capabilities, your beliefs, your values, and your identity. Now listen up, because this is important. The further you go up on this list, the more power these things have over your actions and so results. What most people do with diets is work on their behavior, this part of the list, and rely on willpower to get them through it. But with this, they're making a huge, huge mistake, because these other things tend to overpower it and make it so much harder for you to get long-term results. And just working on behavior is like plastering over the cracks. Yes, you might get some results in the short term, but it's going to take so much energy and so much effort when you could be doing it a much easier way. I'm sure you've seen people that are able to be fit and healthy, and it seems like it's no effort at all to them. Well, the secret is they've got these other steps in place. But first of all, let me just explain this list so you know what I actually mean. So number 1 is your environment. So the people and facilities around you. So are the people helping you? Are the facilities helping you? Is your kitchen set up for weight loss? Are there things near where you live that help you? All these kind of things come together. Number 2 are your behaviors. So what are your behaviors and actions in your day that help you towards your weight loss? Everything from the food you eat to the exercise you do. So number 3 is your skills and capabilities. Do you need to learn something new to get better results? Do you need to learn to cook better? Do you need to learn to do a certain exercise? All these kind of things come together as well. Number 4 is beliefs. Are any of your beliefs holding you back? There are tons of beliefs with weight loss. For example, you can't eat after 6 p.m. Fats make you fat. You can't eat sugar or you'll put on weight. All these kind of things. Do you need to adopt some new beliefs to help you move forward? Number 5, your values. Does health and fitness come high on your values list, or is there something else that always takes precedence over it? And number 6, your identity. Do you see yourself as a fit and healthy person? Do you have labels for yourself that fit in with this health and fitness lifestyle? So for example, I am a runner, I am a cyclist, I am an athlete. All these are examples of identities that link in with a fit and healthy lifestyle. Now stick with me and watch on, because I'm going to explain the crucial part why most people don't utilize these enough and often fail on their diet. Basically, if you don't value health and see yourself as a healthy person, you're always going to be fighting against these deepest desires, because you need to have this value, you need to have this identity around this healthy person for it to flow and for it to be effortless. And that's the secret. So what you need to do is make those 6 things that I mentioned work for you, not against you. And it helps actually to start at number 6, because identity actually helps other things change automatically. You'll see what I mean as I go along. Identity can either come over time or with big emotional impacts. So people's identity often changes very quickly in certain circumstances. I'll use an example. Becoming a mother. One moment you are not a mother and then you are. And your identity changes very quickly, and so too do all the other things around it. You then build values and beliefs and behaviors and make the environment work for you, and that's the example of it becoming effortless. The same thing can be done with your health and fitness. The next, number 5, is values. So what are your current values? Do they need to change? can you use existing values to support your goal in different ways? For example, you may have a really high value around caring, and you may have a pet, a dog, for example. You may not enjoy walking, but the caring value pushes you to go out and take the dog for a walk. So you end up indirectly getting movement and steps into your day. And you may not have done that otherwise, but it was that value that pushed you to do it. The same with another value. Let's say you value connection and people. So that would mean going out, social activities. So you have to go out and move and get somewhere. So that value pushes you to go out. It might be for a walk with a friend. It might be out doing something like dancing. It might be some kind of activity. These values don't have to actually be health and fitness. You can use them for you to support your goal. And then number 4, beliefs. Are your beliefs working for you? So I said before, there's a lot of crazy beliefs in the fitness industry. For example, you can't eat after 6 p.m. or you'll put on weight. You can't eat sugar or you'll put on weight. Fats are bad, all those kind of things. Do these work for you to help you get to your goal? Maybe not. Is there someone successful that you can model? What are their beliefs? What are those beliefs you can take on for yourself? And then number 3, skills and capabilities. So learn the skills you need to around food, around cooking, around exercise, around self-awareness, around your mindset, new ways of thinking. That's a skill as well. So number 2, the behaviors. So you'll start to feel with this that the behaviors come automatically. When you have identity around health and fitness, when you have values, when you have beliefs, these things start to fall in place, like I said. But it's about learning mentally healthy diet behaviors that work long-term for you and don't cause you to yo-yo diet. And then the environment around you, like I said, these things start to fall into place. So you will find people that have similar goals to you. You will make your kitchen work for you so you can make better food, make food easier. You'll have better equipment. You might join a gym. You might buy exercise equipment and make everything work for you. So the environment around you supports your goal. This hierarchy has to work for you and not against you. Most people are plastering over the cracks, Band-Aid for the Americans out there. And this takes a lot of energy, and as soon as that willpower fades, everything tends to collapse. What most people do with their list of environment, behaviors, skills, beliefs, values, and identity is not realize they exist and just shoehorn a diet into part of that. So that would be the behaviors, and use willpower to try and make it work. And the reason I like this model and hierarchy so much is that it teaches you to become the person you need to be to get the results you want, rather than just trying to imitate the behaviors which just don't work long term. So this is what truly brings low resistance long-term change that lasts. Now I understand that weight loss can be hard and a big struggle, and that's why I have made a free video on overcoming the 3 major roadblocks that help my clients overcome their emotional eating and lose weight for good. If you would like access to this video, I put a link down there in the description. All you need to do is pop your email address in and it'll go straight over to your inbox. And I think this video will be useful for you next.